I'm Jim Masters from PBS, also Close-Up TV News, Close-Up Talk Radio, and also host of Connecticut Perspective TV on ABC, WTNH Channel 8 in New Haven. Great to have you with us. 6th annual Film Industry Mixer coming to you from the incredible Garde Arts Center here in New London. And our next special guest is David Gere. You may remember him from the Shadow Room, owner of the very popular Shadow Room, really cool place in Middletown, Connecticut. But also, he is a very successful and growing an incredible producer as well, and he's got some really cool gigs to tell us about. But first, let's welcome David. Great to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Good friend. Now, the transition from the Shadow Room to being a producer, how did that happen, and what was that?
I think I was an actor first,
Yeah.
and I sort of, like every struggling actor said, I kind of want to get sink my claws into business.
Right.
The nightclub business interested me. The Shadow Room was an art gallery, as you know. You did a lot of great events there for me, and thank you. That's where we met.
That's right.
And as that grew, I kind of had that marriage finally of the art community, my interest in the arts, which had been years in advance, and then the business side. So I produced a film in Connecticut called Sensory Perception, starring Corbin Burnson and John Savage, and then it grew from there. So
that was incredible too. What was that experience like? You know, Corbin Burnson.
Right. Corbin was a big star when I was growing up, and my mother would sit me in front of the TV and say, "You're watching what I want to watch," which was LA Law at the time.
Yeah.
So he was a big TV star. He's in a lot of movies. It was exciting. It was great for our team. The director is Al Signore, and that's when I knew that worked. So let's go do another one. So I linked up with this production company in Rhode Island, Woodhaven Productions, and since then, in the last year, I've done 3 feature films as an executive producer or producer.
Wow. Tell us about those films, too.
Those films are right up the road in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Woodhaven Productions primarily is horror, but we just did a comedy called A Bet's a Bet, starring Mena Suvari from American Beauty and American Pie fame. Eric Roberts is in a bunch of our films. He's in that one. He was in a horror film that I produced prior to A Bet's a Bet called Self-Storage. And the one in the middle, Army of the Damned, horror movie legend Tony Todd, Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Sure, yeah.
We had Kristen Chenoweth in A Bet's a Bet, so it's been kind of crazy, and I sometimes jumble them all up because they were quick.
Yeah.
They're back to back to back, and we have 3 in post, and so it's exciting. And
that's incredible.
And it just all works. So
I've heard the name Martin Scorsese is also floating around there. I know you can't say too much because
Well, here's what I could say. Martin Scorsese is going to executive produce a film that Verdi Productions, which is the other side of Woodhaven Productions. The CEO of the company is Chad Verdi, who I'm involved with as a producer. So Martin Scorsese has come on to executive produce a boxing biopic called Paz about the boxer Vinny Pazienza. So
that's incredible.
Next year, and it's
stay tuned.
It's sort of the apex of didn't expect to be there, but excited. And
it seems like everything is rolling. Once you said, okay, this is what I want to do, and then that first connection was made, the floodgates.
Well, you've been doing this a long time too, and you know better than anybody. It's like you set your eyes on one little thing, and then all of a sudden you say, wait a second, I think I could kind of go a little bit further with it.
Right.
And I'm the type of guy where I'm not happy with the last thing I did.
Right.
I'm always looking at how the heck do I figure out that next one. Right. So I always just kind of go like this, and I've been a little bit lucky. A lot of hard work, but all those years back on sets as an actor, kind of sitting back whether it was an extra or a small little part or a PA, I watched,
soaked it in,
and all that stuff's coming back into play now. And you go into a meeting and you're on point because you know everything. You know everything about a production rather.
Right.
From the ground up. So that helps when you're going in and you're at the top of a production because you earn a little bit of respect and you can talk the language. And so it's been a lot of fun. Exciting time for sure.
Other than the Oscar on the mantle that you'll have to polish every once in a while, what are your goals? Do you have a vision? I mean,
do.
You've got a train that's going.
I do. Absolutely, Jim. I want to finish my time out in Rhode Island on these projects and then bring a really big project back to Connecticut. Sensory Perception, and a lot of people excited. The filmmakers that I worked with there, we have something in mind.
Yeah.
So I think with the network of contacts and kind of getting my name out there and being able, and the important thing too is I'm able to raise money to finance these films.
That's the number one thing,
which has been my message to a lot of the filmmakers downstairs, because that's the hardest thing. And once you get that train rolling, and I don't want to say money train, but it is.
But you have to.
It makes all the difference in the world, and I think I could greenlight something real special in Connecticut within the next 2 years.
So if people are watching right now and they have some ideas about something, they should come to you?
Absolutely. David Gere on Facebook. I respond to every message. And there's a lot of friends down there from Facebook. You're one of them.
Yeah.
And you were a friend prior, but
Absolutely.
and thank you for all your support too, especially when the Shadow Room first started. I have a new place called Blue in Danbury. It's going to be an artist community as well as a bar and gallery. I just hung my artwork up last night. I'm also
How
a painter.
long has that been around?
It's been around. It's 6 years. I bought it with a couple other guys last week. So it's
I've been there. It's a great place.
Yeah, it is a great place. Sushi and great drinks.
It's really good.
So come in for a
Blue
drink and
Denver.
sushi on me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So how many people ask you if you're related to Richard?
I used to get that a
Yeah.
lot when I started acting. I don't get it as much anymore, but there is actually a distant relationship.
Is it
My
really?
father's like a third cousin. Yeah, the
Richard
families
Gere?
are both from. Well, the family's from New York State.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
So there's something
There
in
is,
there.
but
Something's in the water.
Oddly enough, I used to think, I'm going to walk in for an audition with a casting agent. That's going to be the first thing they ask. It's like hit or miss.
Right.
You would think people would ask, but they don't. Sometimes they do.
Absolutely.
It's cool.
So this is exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have ever thought? What I like too is that you like to incorporate
Right.
people from the local area.
for sure,
You're
you know.
very pro Connecticut and New England.
Well, I produced an infomercial that you had a prominent
right.
involvement in.
Yeah.
You hosted, So for
Snap
me,
Wrap,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It was a product.
was
So
cool.
for me, it's a lot about being artists. We're all artists.
Right.
Then figuring out the business side, the networking, and then I grab at people that are right there, that are already doing it and are close by, and that I've seen 10 times prior.
Right.
That's important to me because I think one, they're going to be there. Two, you already know kind of what they've done. They're right around you. And three, they're likely to come back.
That's right.
Because we're all in kind of a tight circle. And in today's event, the mixer is a perfect example of how that works.
Absolutely.
So
who inspires you,
Yep.
David? Who are some people?
I don't think
the
they
film
were.
world?
I don't know if they were film people. My dad was a super hardworking guy. He was a town official for 40 years. So I always say he's kind of my role model with hard work and that work ethic, which was ingrained into me as a young kid. In the film world, I hate to sound like a proverbial Italian American, but the Rocky story, Stallone writing a script and insisting on being in it. He's one of them. Young filmmakers are like Darren Aronofsky, but I'm more about the people that inspired me when I was a kid. So my dad,
The dad. Isn't that a great answer? I mean, we'd all say the dad is a great inspiration. Family.
Because you're there every night and you're seeing how hard they work and what they did for your family, and that resonates with me and it sticks in my head, even if I'm on a movie set or at a business.
Absolutely. Bring it back to the family. Isn't that cool? It's the way it should always be, right? Well, David, thanks
you,
for
Jim.
joining us.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you here, there, and everywhere. Blue and Danbury, of course, but of course on the screen. I mean, this is really cool stuff you have.
Thank you, Jim.
happening.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck. This is David Gere, producer, and I'm Jim Masters. Thanks for joining us.